Hey guys, what's going on? Hayden here, and welcome to 2016. This is super sick. I can't believe it's 2016 already. There's some big things to come from Nintendo this year, and that's what this video is about. If you didn't see the title of the video, it's what Nintendo has in store for us in 2016. I'm personally really excited for a lot of things that Nintendo has in store. So I've made a list here, and I'm just gonna kind of go through them and discuss them. Well, I don't know if discuss is the right word. I'm just kind of here by myself, but yeah, so I'm going to talk about all the big things that Nintendo has in store. Now, keep in mind, I'm going by the North American release schedule. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with what we do know that Nintendo has coming for us this year in regards to first party, a few second parties here and there. I think there's a few second parties in here. I'm going to start off with what we know is coming this year, and then I'm going to move into some predictions that I have for them to announce for this year. So starting off in January, we have Paper Mario, or no, Mario Luigi Paper Jam coming to North America. I like the series. I skipped out on Dream Team, but Paper Jam. I've heard some mixed reviews about it, but it still looks like there's some pretty cool stuff in there with Paper Mario being part of the mix. So that's coming in January. In February is a big month for Nintendo. Corrin and Bayonetta DLC are coming to Smash Brothers, which, as of right now, and probably unless Wolf gets some sort of crazy reveal, which I'll talk about in a bit, Corrin and Bayonetta are the final round of DLC, and then the Mii Fighter costumes and the Bayonetta stage that comes with it. Those are coming out in February, and that's huge. I mean, I've talked about this in previous videos before. Like, we've gotten some amazing DLC for Smash Brothers, um, and this is going to be the icing on the cake as far as we know. So that's coming out in February. Mighty Number Nine is finally coming out in February. Some of you guys may know, but I love the Mega Man series and the Mega Man X series. So, like the other Mega Man series, I don't really care that much about, but the classic Mega Man games and the Mega Man X games I loved. And Mighty Number Nine is looking like just Mega Man X on steroids. So that game has been we've heard about that game for so long. It's finally coming out in February, so I am super excited for that. Yeah, it's definitely going to be something I have to play. I don't know if I'll be able to play it with school and whatnot. I'm going to have a pretty busy semester, but it's definitely something I'm going to check out. So finally for February, we have Fire Emblem Fates coming out in the rest of the world. It's already been out in Japan for a while, but it's coming out in North America and Europe and all these other places. So, and again, with the whole Corrin and Smash Brothers, there's definitely going to be some big hype for this game. So moving on to March, we've got another decent month actually. We've got Twilight Princess HD and Hyrule Warriors Legends. So a very Zelda-filled month. Nothing like too new there. There's some new characters with Hyrule Warriors Legends, but Twilight Princess HD, it's probably going to get the same treatment as Wind Waker HD, where it's a kind of an HD remaster. I mean, we already saw from the trailer that the graphics don't look that different, um, but then there's probably going to be some small tweaks here and there. But we still don't know what the amiibos are going to do in that game. So I don't know. But March is looking like a pretty solid month. April, we are finally getting Star Fox Zero. That was supposed to come out in December last year, but or no, sorry, it was supposed to come out in November last year, but it's coming out in April now. We do have a release date on that. Hopefully, they've had enough time to actually make this game good because I've never really been much of a Star Fox person. I played Star Fox 64, but I don't know. This game is doing something for me. I definitely want to play it. So yeah, we've got that coming out in April. And then these are a few games that we don't have necessarily release dates for, but we have release windows for. So in the spring, where you're getting Pokemon Tournament at some point. Now, this is something I think I'm going to touch on in a little bit, but I think Pokemon Tournament is going to take it's going to take the spot of Splatoon's release window. You know, kind of end of May sort of thing, just like right before the summer. Just have a game to play over the summer. I think Pokemon Tournament. It looks like it's well into development, and well, it's already out in Japan in the arcades. But I think the full retail version is going to be ready to go by the spring, and yeah, I think that's when it's going to come out. And we do know it's coming out in the spring. They said that in the last Nintendo Direct. So yeah, and then in 2016, there's a few games coming out in 2016 that we don't necessarily have release windows for or release dates for. The first one, Metroid Federation Force. This game definitely came under fire as soon as it was showed at E3 last year, and we have not seen anything of it yet. Again, something I'm going to touch on in a bit, but I think we're going to see it in the next Nintendo Direct. I think it's going to have an overhaul. And the other thing that we know is coming out this year, the big one, is Zelda Wii U. And again, something I'll touch on in my predictions, but I think it's going to come out in the holidays of this year, so like November, December. But this game is big. Like, and we know barely anything about it. All we've seen are two little teasers for it and the Game Awards footage from 2014. So we really, and like even then, like they say that the game's been going under like a lot of changes. Like that's why the development has been so delayed, because they just found so many more things that they want to change about the game. They want to advance on with the game. So we really don't know anything about it. So that is what we know is coming out this year. Now, my predictions part of this. Now, some of these are going to be pretty safe, but some of these I think are going to be kind of ballsy. So, first of all, I think the NX is going to get unveiled at E3. You know, the development kits, they've been out for a long time now, like months now, to like different developers. So we know that the NX is nearing completion. If not, they've got a very solid idea of what it is and what they want to do with it. Um, it makes a lot of sense to reveal it at E3. E3 is the biggest gaming event of the year. And the Wii U, by the time it's E3, the Wii U will almost be 4 years old. It'll be over 3.5 years old because it came out in November in 2012. So it's not like it's like a new console per se. Like it's aged somewhat. And if you think about it, like think about the Super Nintendo that came out in 1990, and the N64 came out in 1996. 4 years, especially with it being an unsuccessful console, that's not that short of a lifespan if you think about it. So I don't know. The NX, I think it's going to get unveiled at E3, and I think it's going to come out in the holidays of 2016. And also with that, I think it's going to launch with Zelda Wii U. So I think Zelda Wii U is going to be on the Wii U and on the NX, similar to what they did with Twilight Princess. So it has a big launch game. Also, I think they're going to launch with a big new 3D Mario game. They have to have a good launch with the NX. They really dingled up with the Wii U's launch. It came out with like what, like New Super Mario Brothers U and Zombie U or something. Like it had a terrible release lineup. Like no one really had a reason to buy a Wii U until like at least a year later. So they really need to nail it this time. And I personally think holiday 2016 is when the NX is coming out. Like they really need to start. They need the NX out now. Like the Wii U has burdened them enough. I love the Wii U, but it's done terrible in the marketplace. So they definitely need to get it out. And I think they need a new 3D Mario game, Mario Galaxy 3, please. And the Zelda Wii U, I think, is also going to come with it. So my next prediction is that Pokemon Z will get announced in early 2016, and it'll be released in April and May. Now, this might seem like a safe prediction, except for the April and May part, because Pokemon Z, like it's got to be coming. Like, there's the whole new Zygarde forums, there's the whole like Ash Greninja thing or whatever. So there's definitely some changes. Uh, there's definitely some new things that have come out in the Pokemon universe that aren't implemented in a video game yet. With that said, a new video game is inevitable to come out with that kind of stuff. And Pokemon Z just makes too much sense. If you've spent any time on the internet, you know the whole Pokemon Z thing. I think it's going to get announced in early 2016. Now, usually Pokemon games are released. The past three, Pokemon Black and White 2, X and Y, and Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, were actually released in the fall. That was in like the October kind of time frame. I think it's going to be earlier, such as like April or May, simply because it's going to tie in with the anime. If you're keeping up to date with the anime, the Pokemon anime, the scheduling for the Pokemon Z story arc is right around here. It's gonna be right around, like I think it's already started in Japan, and it's coming up really soon in North America. So I definitely think that they're going to try and coincide the two together. So I think April or May is a safe bet. Plus, it doesn't take that much time to make a game based off X and Y. Just you got to change a few things. It's not that much development time, and it shouldn't be anyway. So moving on to my next prediction, I think this is a pretty safe one. Pikmin 4 will be released in the early fall/late summer, so kind of the same time frame that Mario Maker came out. Miyamoto has actually said in an interview last summer that Pikmin 4 was almost done. So where the hell's that been? We haven't seen anything on that game yet, so which makes me think that it's ready to be released like early fall, late summer. Now the reason I say early fall, late summer opposed to like maybe June is because Nintendo already has a pretty solid lineup of games coming out in the first half of 2016, at least in my opinion. And that's not even including like indie support, third-party support. So I think Nintendo's safe for the first half of 2016. It's the second half that I think they have to worry about. My next prediction, I think at least one more classic GameCube game is going to get an HD remake similar to what Wind Waker's gotten and what Twilight Princess has gotten. I think it's going to be Mario Sunshine. This is one that's been heavily requested. I've never played Mario Sunshine, but I do know of some of the issues in the game, like the blue coins, for example, that people kind of want. They want some tweaks to the game to make it a more accessible and enjoyable experience. I think Mario Sunshine is the perfect fit for that. You can start to tell that the game has aged a bit with its visuals. So an HD like at the time, it was a beautiful game, and I think it still has the potential to be a beautiful game with an HD overhaul. So I think Mario Sunshine is totally realistic of getting a remake this year. Now, going back to Metroid Federation Force, I think there's going to be some. I think there's going to be some major changes to it. Like we didn't even see Samus in it. Now we have seen interviews since then that has confirmed that Samus will be in the game. Um, Now I still think that there's going to be some major overhauls with the game. And there was actually an interview where Reggie said, I don't remember the exact words, but he basically addressed the negative reactions to Metroid Federation Force. And again, don't remember the exact words, but he basically said, deal with it. This is what we're doing. But despite that, I think that they're going to do an overhaul. They really got to be careful with the Metroid series after Other M, and I think they're going to get it right this time. Uh, I, I I personally do. I really think they gotta like. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing if they stick with like the level system with like how it's like you beat a level and you move on to the next level. Like yeah, you don't really get that whole like overall exploration sense that like the Metroid Prime series has or the Super Metroid has, but it could work. I mean, it worked with Triforce Heroes. Like if you're working, of course, if you were playing with friends, it worked with Triforce Heroes. It could work with Metroid Federation Force as well, but we'll see. We still don't really know that much about the game. We haven't seen it since E3. I think it's going to get released though in October 2016. They have confirmed that it's coming out in 2016. I think it's going to be a fall release because I still think there's a lot of work to do with that game. Moving away from the game side for a second, I think we're going to get more amiibos to come with to coincide with new games. So it wouldn't surprise me if we got Pokemon Tournament amiibos. It wouldn't. God, excuse me. I've been eating too many Pringles today. But we do know that Miyamoto has talked about a Star Fox line of amiibo, such as an Arwing amiibo. I think we're going to finally get that unveiled. I mean, we should get that unveiled. Star Fox comes out this year. But I think a Metroid series of amiibo, a Zelda series amiibo, those would be awesome. Like, if you think about it, the Metroid series does have a decent amount of characters you can make amiibo out of. Like, guaranteed, there are a shitload of people that would want a Ridley amiibo. Or there's a bunch of people that would want just, like, a little, like a regular Metroid, like a, you know, the little brain sucker thing. Like, I think people would actually like to have an amiibo. I would like to have an amiibo of that. Or like a Zelda series of amiibo. So, like, there's no Impa amiibo out there. There's no Darunia. There's no Rudo. There's no like none of these iconic Zelda characters. They don't have amiibos yet. You could definitely make money off those. Like games like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, like those are while I don't think they're the best Zelda games, those are definitely classic Zelda games. Those are definitely some of the most recognizable video game characters amongst Nintendo's like canon. So there's definitely lots of stuff that they could make amiibos out of that would sell gangbusters, and then people would be happy to buy as long as they have. I mean, it doesn't even matter if they have a good use or not. I personally buy amiibos more for the collectible. But yeah, so um, moving on to something a little different. So Nintendo Direct. I think we're gonna get a Nintendo Direct before Bayonetta and Corrin come out. Of course, I think Nintendo's going to continue with their regular Nintendo Direct schedule, you know, every few months. But I think we're getting one before Bayonetta and Corrin come out, mostly to talk about their spring releases, such as Pokemon, Star Fox, Twilight Princess HD. But I think another reason that they're going to have this before the Smash DLC comes out, I still think it's possible Wolf could get in. You know, Sakurai has very. Actually, I have the quote here. When he revealed Bayonetta, he said, I quote, please take a look at the final new challenger for Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U. That, like, please take a look at the final new challenger. Wolf is not a new challenger. He is a veteran fighter. It would totally make sense for him to come back with Star Fox Zero coming out in April, but also because, like, of all the like of all the characters that got cut, he's the one that doesn't make sense why he was cut. You know, the Ice Climbers got cut because of technical difficulties. Snake was probably cut because of contract stuff. Um, you know, Young Link and Pichu, that just we don't need them back. But Wolf, you know, he's not that cloney if you think about it. His moves, while he does have like the same moves in Spirit, they're executed very differently and they affect opponents very differently. So, and then plus there's just the fan service behind him. You know, I've been seeing free Wolf stuff on Twitter like fucking everywhere. A bunch of people want Wolf back, and there's also that image on the Smash Brothers website where it shows all the DLC characters, and it shows them in a rectangle form, like the rows of 2 rows of 4, so 4 and 4, and well, 4 and then 3. It looks so uneven. It just looks gross. And Wolf would fit. He would finish that. Like it would look so much better. That image would just look so much better if Wolf was in it. That's just a little nitpicky thing, but you know how Sakurai is with perfection. So who knows? He could get in, but there's a lot of things supporting him to get in. Of course, it wouldn't surprise me if he didn't get in either, because this was the final Smash Brothers Direct the past month. So who knows? It's still up in the air, but I'm not holding my breath. I think it's likely, but I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't happen. My last prediction for 2016, Retro Studios. What the hell have they been working on? You know, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze came out like almost 2 years ago. It came out in February 2014, I think. So Retro has been kind of quiet recently. So I think we're gonna get an idea at E3 this year what they've been working on next. You know, are they working on a Metroid for the NX? Because I think we've gotten interviews saying, or like we've seen articles saying that like the next true Metroid game wouldn't be coming until the NX. It's not going to happen on the Wii U anymore, which sucks. But hey, if it's going to be a good game, I'm willing to wait. It, I think Retro could be working on a new Metroid game. I mean, they nailed it with the Metroid Prime series. I would love to see another Metroid game from them. They nailed it with the Donkey Kong series. Tropical Freeze and Donkey Kong Country Returns were both amazing platformers. Definitely did the series justice. So I think we're going to get their next project at E3 this year. So that is it for my predictions. Now, if you enjoyed anything I had to say, leave a like on this video, please. It really means a lot. Leave a comment down below what you think, if you agree with me on anything, if you disagree, if you have some new ideas that I didn't think of. By all means, please leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you've not already for more Nintendo discussions like this. And I'm sure lots of game coverage in the near future and in the further future. You know, I'm really enjoying doing this. I'm really excited for what 2016 has to bring. Really excited for my channel to grow and for you guys to for it to grow. I really need your guys' help. You know, share my content around social media, Facebook, Twitter, uh, I don't know, YouTube. Why the hell not? Share it everywhere. It would really mean a lot to me, guys. But that's it from me for now. Peace out. Bye.